Hi, my name is Eduardo Fernandez, and I'm here to tell you why it is that I got involved in this business. We got to go a little bit further back. I came from a family where we were actually very poor, and my father was an unbelievable human being, worked his tail off to be able to generate enough cash where he can reinvest it into other businesses and other investments. And over time, my family was able to generate a massive amount of wealth during the 1980s. And by the early 1990s, my family lost it all. So going through bankruptcy and all those things, and one of the things my family realized very quickly was, the times are good. When times are good, everybody wants to be your friend, everybody wants to be around you. But all of a sudden, when times are bad, nobody wants to help you. And the people that used to count on the most, they're the people the first ones that disappear. And the people that actually stick around, those are your true friends. Well, in 1992, I ended up going to Pepperdine University. I got a degree in business administration, and in, I believe it was 1997, I ended up going to Chicago. I actually left California because there was no opportunity for me here. So I went to Chicago, and I was brought over by an amazing family, and the family taught me how the financial system worked. I started in trading floors at the Chicago Board of Trade and working in the corn pit, and that's where I learned about commodities, derivatives, the bond markets. I learned about silver and gold. I learned about oil and how everything was interrelated and how everything worked worldwide. And the family actually owned the firm that I worked for, and I ended up going through the technology department, accounting department, all these crazy things that at the time I was like 23, 24 years old. But a 23, 24-year-old naive kid, it was like the biggest dream of his life. By the time I was 25, I was running my own trading firm with a few other partners at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and I was living a life like I felt like I was in the movie Wall Street. But after some time, everything started to look different. Unfortunately, the financial markets, a lot of the people that are involved in that game, it's like they don't have a soul. And it sucks them dry, that whole money game. You're chasing something, and it's never enough. Most of them have already sold their souls. If not, they'd be more than willing to, just for a few $1,000s, because it would make them feel good. They'd sell out their mothers if they could. I'm not saying everybody's like that, but a very large majority, a huge percentage of those people, that's the way that they think. And well, at least those were the people that I was surrounded by, and it just wasn't me. So I thought I made the proper decision. NASDAQ crashed. My partner lost $3 million, and at that point I was like, okay, I'm out. And I went to go work for UBS, thinking, stocks and mutual funds and all that other cool stuff is better, instead of commodities. So I went over there, and I also realized that the system was faulty, because within that system, you go out there and you bring in people with a whole bunch of money, and your job is to, figure out, allocate their assets and figure out how you can make money off of them, because their allocation is not correct, because our company can do better. But that wasn't me again. I couldn't do that to people, because I knew that they had structured their portfolios correctly, but in order to be able to make any money, it's not just about the assets. You have to be able to make money off that person in order to be able to hold on to your job. And I came across an amazing lady, this is like a person's dream come true. I found an elderly lady with $3.5 million of Walmart stock stuck underneath their mattress, who lived like a couple blocks from my house. I'm not joking when I say this. She had like an oxygen tank hooked on and the whole entire thing. And I was able to bring her over to the firm, but I couldn't do what the firm wanted me to do. So I ended up leaving the firm, because there is, as far as I'm concerned, why would I ever want to screw somebody over? It makes no sense. Unless you can actually help people, why would you want to bring them into something that they don't belong into? Or why would you even want to bring somebody and present them with an opportunity that doesn't serve their needs? See, that wasn't who I was. I wanted to be involved more in the people business. So my natural inclination was, okay, I'm going into real estate. At least I can help people buy houses, build them houses, all this stuff. And I hit one of the biggest real estate booms that we've ever experienced, and we made a considerable amount of money. But in 2005, I realized that this whole thing was unsustainable. See, everything runs in cycles. all these business cycles, there's a reason why they happen. Okay, there's a reason why everybody, when everybody starts jumping onto the boat when it's too late, and then everybody loses their money. So I looked into this, and I went back and forth between Chicago, and I was like, listen, this is unsustainable. There's going to be a lot of distressed assets out there. Now, granted, go all the way back, I'm just a normal person. I'm just like you, right? There's nothing extraordinarily special about me. I'm just a normal human being. But I was able to meet the right people at the right time, and things just started happening, and we were able to get into a banking institution with $500 million, that's $500 million in distressed assets. And we negotiated back and forth for a year. And then the government stepped in. The government decided, you know what, we're going to bail you out. And it was absolutely horrifying what they were doing, because they were paying 2 times more than what the assets were really worth. And what was sickening about all that was the money that the government was paying them with came from a bailout. And that bailout money came from us, the people, the population. So the population has to pay 2 times more for something that isn't worth it. And then you have all these financial experts on TV telling you, no, this is just not going to happen. It was all a bunch of bull. And I hate being lied to, and I know most people, I'm pretty sure that you hate being lied to too. So that was pretty devastating. I decided to leave finance. I said, you know what, I'm hooking my head up, I'm done. And I became a CFO of a law firm. And we were trying to help people in distressed situations. And roughly about that time period, I was introduced to network marketing. And you hear these stories about how this person comes up to somebody, and they got to come up to them a couple times, and they expose them to the whole entire opportunity, and then they end up joining. That's exactly what happened to me. I wasn't interested in the beginning, and then it made a lot of sense over time. I talked to people on the phone, I saw their presentations, everything, I met people. It seemed like a very interesting opportunity, because beforehand, every business I had ever been involved with, it's like, okay, $25,000, $50,000 here, up to $300,000 that I would invest with, either myself or in some sort of joint partnership. And you have to wait a long time for that money to ever come back, if it ever comes back. And with network marketing, it's either a couple $100s to a couple $1,000, depending on the person's ability, and they can get almost an immediate return on their investment. They can get all their money back in a matter of months. Some people do it in a matter of days, and actually build an amazing business. And it was all people, talking to people, and that's something that I really love, because I love people. I love human beings. Unfortunately, there's a lot of disconnection. We're involved in a very disconnected world, but I know that people don't want to be out there by themselves.